G'day again, champions. We're back with the Silverface Princeton Reverb. I found a couple of extra things on there that I just want to quickly show you before we rip it to shreds. I had a few people comment that I'm starting too many amps without finishing any, and yeah, that's probably the case, but the thing you got to remember is operating from Australia, and Australia often to get a decent rate on parts, you've got to order them from the States or Germany, and they take, maybe you've got to save up an order over a month and then pull the trigger on it eventually, and then from that point it takes about 2 months for the parts to get here, so it is what it is. I'll try and hold off on actually putting the first episode out from now, so by the time you see the first episode the amp's probably finished and out the door, but you know, I get excited when I've done filmed a episode and edited it together, and it's exciting, so I want to put it out and show you, but maybe I'll hold off in the future until the whole job is finished. So one thing I wasn't very clear about with the first video is that this is a late 70s, I think even they made them like this up to 81, with a pull pot for the master volume, which gives a volume boost. So the layout and the circuit is slightly different from stock, and so far I haven't been able to find a schematic for this exact one to show you, but we will retain that. Maybe I'll talk to the customer and say, look, do you want this, do you want to use this, or do you want it to be a bone stock 1164 circuit and just disconnect that switch? Now, one thing I only noticed as I was about to pull this thing apart and start working on it is that grease that we saw on the valve sockets. It's all over that brass plate, and you can see it starting to corrode it, so I've got a feeling that was like something like WD-40 or some kind of spray lubricant. You can see all the goo there around that resistor. Wherever it's really concentrated to, it's gone green, so it's starting to oxidize the copper in that brass. So really we kind of need to remove all the hardware off the front face and clean all that shit off and reinstall it all. So just looking down here, we'll see if we can pick a bit of this up. It's like it's almost just like oil. I really hope it's not silicon based. You can see just from that little dab we did there, so I don't know what it is. So the only way to really clean all that up is just remove everything, and that means removing the solder joints, the bus wire. We probably really need to pull the whole thing apart except for this side where the valves are, flip the board up, because I wouldn't mind having a look at the bottom side of this board too, because as I think I've mentioned in the previous video and other videos as well, when there's some ham-fisted tech before, you'll find big balls and pools of solder, because they just keep pouring solder into these eyelets as they're reworking it, and it just collects underneath and can short stuff out. But first off, let's just bloody snippety-doo-dah everything. This has got a lead from an old component there used as like a post. You can see there. So I'll just lift that, piss off that resistor, remove that orange wire as well because it's in the wrong place. Let's just remove the grids as well while we're working in this area. Just clean up. You got stuff passing under other stuff. Everything's sort of got to get out and fuck off and make way for awesomeness. This is one of those jobs where I can just feel the more joints I undo, the more I'm going to undo. The closer I look at it, the more it's going to annoy me. And before you know it, we're going to end up rebuilding the whole amp. I don't like the way they're sitting. That resistor's the wrong value. That wire can get out of the way. That wire can piss off. All these caps I'll just snip out. I can't get to the bottom of them anyway. That can go away. This wire's shit and melted. That can go away. Same with that one. It's a non-original wire and it's melted too. You can drop that cap out. I reckon those, yeah, that solder's barely even holding on in anyway. I'll just remove the bias board completely. Give that a clean as well, since it's pretty much all going to be replaced. Now, some of these pots have set screws and some of them are just slip-on. To do this kind of thing, I like to get 2 spoons and gently bring it up so you're not tilting the pot over, the pot shaft over. You might break something, particularly with those nylon shafted ones. So I took off all the hardware for the front panel. Sort of forget if you're working on a car or an amp with this thing because everything's so greasy and filthy and dirty, oily. So I don't know if I'm going to keep these jacks. I don't think so. Everything's just covered in slime essentially. So I might at least replace them because the shorting jacks tend to go a bit funky. Just give the front panel a good old clean, but we're just going to remove all the pots and everything off the front panel and swing that board up and have a look underneath and between it and the insulating layer. It's also just the fact that every time you go to undo a solder connection, you get choked with the fumes of whatever this shit is evaporating into smoke in your face. It's not a lot of fun either. This is all the time consuming stuff. Oh yeah, that pot's been replaced with a PCB pot. And I need to get the big iron out. So I wonder if this corrosion on the front panel was actually triggered by whatever this lubricant is, because literally that's like soaking the rag even behind the front panel. Someone's just poured like half a litre into this thing. Crazy. I've got the 100 watt iron out. It's actually drawing 104 watts. Pretty accurate. I don't know what you can see, but I've got to keep going. I've got to get some work done. Oh man, that stinks. Whatever that shit is, can't be good. Just have to get the BOFA onto it. Good old BOF. Get a little bit of the grease off that thing. Alright, we're going to lift up this whole mess. Alright, so it's not looking too bad. I expected some big Chernobyl style elephant's feet of lead. You know, they're bulgy, with a lot of little nipples. Like that's probably about 3mm proud, so if we heated that up a few more times it might have separated from the eyelet and become free under there. We'll remove the insulator board. Have a look under that. It's jammed between the screws. There she goes. And there's just so much of this goo everywhere. Like, it's like they've just got inside the amp and just sprayed it everywhere. Like, I don't know. There's got to be more to it. Like maybe they've used something to try and dissolve the wax, but it's mixed with the wax and just formed this goo. I don't know. There's no reason that any of that amount of stuff would have got sprayed in the amp, but you never know. All I know is that we're in a position now to clean it all up and rebuild the thing. You can see there it's corroded the plating on the chassis as well. We've removed that cap. While we've got the other iron hot, we'll clean up that solder and try and get it as neat and tidy as possible. The other thing we'll do is clean up these transformer mounted grounds. We don't want any terminals mounted to those bolts at all, because with movement they come loose over time. I've seen it on pretty much every fender that comes in. There's so much solder on the thing that you can't even get the socket on there to loosen it. Disconnect these wires or vaporize them, either way, whatever works. Give it the old reach around. Double soldering iron action. Alright, now we can at least get the socket on there. What is that, 1132? Some weird American size. Yeah, that was not even finger tight. Probably could have just undone it with my fingers without the socket. And some alcohol. And it ends up looking pretty good. Now, I don't know why they didn't just use that bolt hole there, screw hole there. You could just use that with an eyelet, dedicated screw. Do this one up here as well. And Bob's your uncle. Just try and get in here and clean up whatever this crap is. Get some alcohol. We'll spin the chassis around and have a look at the front area. So I dropped the transformer out just to get full access, clean up all those solder joints, clean up right at the front panel. That was a lot of just isopropyl and repeated cycles of cleaning. Kind of stinks too. Remove the pilot light too, just to redo all of that. Just give everything a good old clean. The front of the chassis come up pretty good. So let's work on reinstalling all of this and see what work needs to be done to the eyelet board to try and avoid it having any conduction issues. So next we'll remove these links and start cleaning all this grease off from this side too. Oh, yummy. Oh, champions. Would you have a look at that? It's amazing what you can achieve with some noxious chemicals, a bit of elbow grease, and pure spite. Alright, champions, I think it's going to be another one of those fully depopulate the board sort of situations. Everywhere I look is just, every time I move a component, there's dumb shit under it, like just tack soldered shit, or dags of solder, or I don't know, mate. We came here for a long time, not a good time, so let's get into it. Freedom! Horrible, horrible freedom. Right, so now what? The more I looked at it, the more dumb shit I found, and just stuff like leads not long enough, leads wrapped around other leads, and just every wire's melted. It's just, it's going to be more effort and more time to do little bit by little bit than just rip the thing out and friggin' depopulate it, start again. Maybe make some improvements in the process. TBC. Even the pots are just slathered with that grease stuff. Everything just probably needs really good solvent bath and relubrication. Here's a good example of what I'm talking about. So this lead was just pushed against that with no solder connection at all. And it was hidden down in a forest of wires and stuff. It was only when I undid that end that the cap just fell off. There's nothing in this amp that I can trust. So I'm going full you know, meth head mode and just depopulating the whole thing, a million miles an hour. So I'll see you on the other side, I guess. There's quite a bit of grunge in the chassis there, on the valve side too. Get in there and clean all that up as best we can. Alright, so shit got real. Go through and clean all that wax off, clean all the solder out of the eyelets, and then figure out what the hell we're going to do. Get it back together. I'll check the little parts bin there for viability, particularly the film caps and the disc caps there. We might just go ahead and put some new V-shays in there though. What do you reckon? You tell me. We'll see how the pots clean up. Let's just get all that greasy gunk off them and then blast them with compressed air and give them a fresh lube. And half the wiring's going to get replaced anyway because it's all melted. You know, we can't be having stuff like that in there, so I might leave this one here, legends, and then we'll do the next video showing the probably almost finished product with a little bit of tweaking and do some sound samples. So I'll see you then.